Watch the Mysteries of Existence channel for divine enlightenment. To know more about yourself, the physical and subtle aspects of the universe, and the source of all that is.
This is a message brought to you by the Harbinger of the Last Covenant, His Grace, Iyke Nathan Uzorma, author, Archbishop, University Chancellor, scholar in extraterrestrial research, professor of Christian education at St. Thomas-A-Backet University, England, recipient of Nelson Mandela Excellent Leadership Award in Africa. Former living Grand Master in the Order of Terrestrial and Astral Hierarchy, amongst others.
Dear listeners, this exposition is on Planetary Winnowing, Ancient Beasts in Our Contemporary World, Part 2. It is a special feature in this Mysteries of Existence channel. This is the most needed advanced divine information to the entire people of this world. Therefore, as you pay utmost attention to this crucial end-time message, please endeavor to kindly share it with others. I read this treatise of the Harbinger of the Last Covenant, His Grace, Iyke Nathan Uzorma, as follows. Now, let it be emphasized that this is a very delicate period for the children of men in the history of mankind. Right now, we are completely standing upon the threshold of planetary winnowing. This is the final hour for everyone to seek divine salvation in the light of the Almighty God of creation. I am not speaking here about religion, church, temple, or mosque. Rather, I am speaking about divine salvation embedded within true love and peace. Thus, to be truly salvaged, one must take a firm stand now upon the ground of life, the ground of victory in light. This is a period of the great changeover for the Earth world. This changeover is already within the recognition of interplanetary denizens, both in our solar and galactic systems. I am speaking here regarding the divine transfer of authority, power, and dominion, from the forces of darkness to the forces of light. The advanced denizens of the solar system, outside the physical framework of flesh and blood, including the elevated galactic humanoids, are well aware of this. They are fully aware, by the ordinance of the Ancient of Days, that the Earth is set for mutation, via unprecedented divine transmogrification, into the planetary hierarchy of the dominion of light. Unprecedented global upheaval is enshrined in the final phase of actualization of what you are hearing. And what you are hearing should be understood within the ambit of planetary winnowing. Simply stated in the symbolic terms, the Earth planet is about to vomit all the elements of wickedness practiced upon her for ages. Authority, power, and dominion have always been there, but these were more domiciled on Earth within the territorial elements of the primordial beasts, even Nachash the beast, the old serpent. By this, the forces of darkness had a greater ground of manipulations in the world of man. Children of men, spiritual authority is different from spiritual power, and spiritual power is different from spiritual dominion. You may understand this better within the reference point of human recognition. For instance, the executive president of a nation is embedded with political authority, a certain amount of power, and a limited dominion. From the moment that he took the oath of office, he will begin to exercise these. However, because power is greater than authority, he will be bereft of the power to do all that he desires to do. He may desire that the economy of his nation should become the greatest in the world, or that no human should be poor in his nation, amongst other things, but he wouldn't have the required power to achieve all this. Furthermore, dominion is greater than power. Simply stated, dominion means that all things are brought under control. Hunger, sickness, opposition, economic woes, war, and hate, amongst other things, are immediately dominated and made to bow. No human can actualize these things within the entire enclaves of men. This dominion is about to play out supremely in the world of man. I am speaking about the dominion inherent within the eternal prerogative of the Ancient of Days, which he bestowed in the Son of Man. Sometimes, we think that a believer has absolute authority, power, and dominion simultaneously. Even then, they are bestowed to the one who has risen in divine light on limited and isolated aspects. There is no amount of authority, power, and dominion embedded within you that will enable you to completely dismantle all the works of darkness in the world of man. This will only be enacted at the fullness of time. Now, this fullness of time is the time wherein we live, in which the forces of darkness will be completely dismantled. Only with the unlimited and tremendous dominion of the Ancient of Days will this be accomplished. In the human terms, this is not an easy task. Even in terms of advanced angelic beings, this is not an easy task either. For the inheritance of darkness stood first in manifestation, within the configuration of the present layers of earth. To this end, it was said that, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. That which was upon the face of the deep is the ubiquitous power of darkness, which harbored some great spirits of a kind, even the forces of darkness. The power of darkness was the first to come forth in the annals of historical earth. All powers in the entire universal systems flowed down from the one eternal Spirit of the Almighty God of creation. And, so, you have heard about the face of the deep, upon which was darkness. The face of the deep is a representation of the base before the beginning. Darkness was the predominant energy discharged at this stage or base. Thus, it stood first upon the face of the deep. In other words, the face of the deep is pure darkness, which harbored the forces within its system. Now, it was the face of the deep, the base before the beginning, that gave birth to the beginning. However, the base before the beginning itself was given birth by the beginningless of the sole ultimate reality, which is the one eternal Spirit of the Almighty God of creation. To this end, there are the beginningless, the base before the beginning, as well as the beginning. The power of darkness was there, at the base before the beginning, upon the face of the deep, when the supreme pronouncement, "Let there be light," was made. Then the base before the beginning gave rise to light in the beginning, and light began to grow in the world of man. The beginningless is the primordial potential state, wherein the combination of light and darkness, in the Almighty God of creation, was in the eternal configuration of what can't be known by any angel, spirit or human. And, so, the evidence of how the forces of darkness are frolicking around on earth is there for everyone to understand. A time was set for the table to be turned and for the world of man to be fully reclaimed into the light of the stars of heaven. That time is our time. By the divine principles inherent in the duality of light and darkness, especially in the lower worlds, including the world of man, the turning of the table is situated upon intense battles. This duality is reconciled in the eternal oneness of the I Am that I Am. Nevertheless, for the dominance of light in the world of man, a great battle is involved within the ambit of the aforementioned camouflage duality. Thus, shortly, the mother of all combats will surface on the physical realm of earth, but it is not a combat of flesh and blood. This combat will ultimately lead to the long foretold existence of sanity in divine light on earth. And for this impending mother of all combats on earth, no religion, science, or government will have a say or solution. This mother of all combats is already on the way to this world. It is the last phase of planetary winnowing. It is the greatest tribulation ever. Earthman, know and understand that before the last phase of planetary winnowing, the final physical manifestation of this war of wars, the global economic crusade, even the symbolic aspect of the dominion of this crusade, will be actualized in your midst. This symbolic aspect is fully set to manifest any moment from now, to the end that the beasts, which controlled the economy of this world, will give way to another set of beings, even the chosen ones in light. The aforementioned was disclosed to the one writing these things in the higher regions of the forces of light above. Before the physical manifestation of the global economic crusade set now to occur, divine structures were already put in place before the throne for its actualization. Nothing can stop this. And so, a great interpreter was divinely programmed of old, even in a camp of another head in the order of the covenant of light, for the physical manifestation of this. Earthman, you must understand that the visible is controlled by the invisible. And so, the structure of these things are already established in the realms beyond by the Ancient of Days. You must be prepared now, because whoever that is overtaken at last will speak in vain with his own blood. Children of men, the harbinger of the last covenant, is a little one sent to you, even as the great ones before me were sent. Blessed is the one who has the ear to hear. You have heard about the beasts in human affairs, the dark power that entangles itself with the nations of men. As earlier mentioned, this will be thoroughly examined in the course of the foregoing material. However, the legitimate spirit of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, within the immutable divine purview of the Ancient of Days, is fully set for the final battle. A signal is needed, in conjunction with the signal that has come and will come. Therefore, the harbinger of the last covenant, on behalf of the chosen ones on earth, bows at the feet of the most holy King of Kings and Lord of Lords. It is he alone that will usher in the basis under which the entire world of man will flourish in the light of heaven on earth. Again, you have heard about the final descent of the holy kingdom of light into the earth world. This is the hour of fulfillment. Therefore, when you hear that the kingdoms of the earth men will be reclaimed in light at last, as spoken in the times of old, don't pass over it lightly. You will recall that the great prophet Daniel, in the Bible book of Daniel, chapter 2 verse 44, wrote thus: "And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." Equally, you have heard that the divine ruler of nations, the most holy one who will govern with a rod of iron, which is the signet of universal divine mastership, will enact the last battle. This is the battle of battles, the long foretold battle for a change to light. Darkness won't easily give up. Therefore, the armies are gathered on both sides of light and darkness, but what is written, and what is written must come to pass. The harbinger of the last covenant won't tell you that what will salvage you is on the way, but you will be told, even as you are told, that what will salvage you is here knocking on your door. All that you have heard concerning what lies above is now beneath with you. Children of men, in your very eyes, in what is about to be divinely played out on earth, your earthly governance systems embedded with darkness will be gobbled up by light. Your earthly governments are fraught with human defects. In the assertion of the ancient wise men of the East, the Earthman has 4 leading defects in the lower aspects of his physically oriented self. These human defects include the propensities of cheating, making mistakes, illusionary mind and consciousness, as well as the limitations inherent within the imperfect senses. This is the Earthman for you. These defects are what he has and what he can offer via his mundane governance systems. Now, as one can't give what he doesn't have, and as no one can run beyond his shadow, so no one can establish perfect divine rule in the human affairs. Consequently, the human monarchies, military regimes, and even the well-organized democratic systems are all embedded with the aforementioned defects. Thus, in the impending last phase of the ongoing planetary winnowing, these earthly systems of governance will be gobbled up by the light of heaven on earth. This was long foretold by advanced extraterrestrial intelligences of light and some great masterminds, including the great prophet Daniel, who spoke about diverse beasts. We will come to this later. That will be all for now. A word is enough for the wise. Peace and blessings.